Welcome back, Warrior fans. Super excited for this week's episode. Been wanting to interview some of our cheerleaders. I feel like it's a sport that's not really talked about a lot. I had some friends in high school that did cheer, and I really think that it's a cool sport and they do a lot of physical exertion. So today, to talk with us about cheer, we have Jaslyn Jarrett and Juliana Thompson, both on the cheer team here at Weber, and super excited. So if you guys want to give a little bit intro about yourselves, Juliana, you can go first.
Okay, we're both from the same part of Florida. I'm from Niceville, Florida, and I went to a JUCO there called Northwest Florida State College, and that's where I ended up meeting Jazzy.
Jaslyn Jarrett. I also live in a small part of North Florida. It's called Defuniak Springs. Me and Ju didn't know each other in high school at all, but we lived like 20 minutes away from each other. So we met at college, sparked up a good friendship. It's lasted for a while.
So you guys both transferred, like you said, from Northwest Florida State College. So something, you guys are close friends. So did you plan to come here together? Was it like you guys just were talking one day and you're like, yeah, I'm going to Weber, and I'm like, oh, me too? Or was it something where you guys were like, you want to go together? Like,
there was a girl on our team that came here, and then they tried to recruit us the same year, but we were still freshmen.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get our AA degree before we transferred over. And so we were thinking about it. I was thinking about Troy and University of West Florida, but it's mostly just a scholarship.
Yeah.
At first, we both, at one point, we both decided, no, I don't think so. And then I was like, I think I want to go to Weber. And she was like, I was just talking to my mom about that. And then, we just both reached out to the coach.
I saw they had my degree, and I was like, oh, yeah.
So you mentioned you guys knew somebody that came. Did you guys, talk to her and use her a lot to see, what she thought about the school? Or did that?
Definitely.
Yeah, we came and visit her. Yeah.
We explored the school. I didn't do a official walkthrough through the school.
Yeah.
But she kind of showed me around, and it's a nice campus.
Yeah. Awesome. So, you guys talked about why you chose to come to Weber. You said it had your major, scholarship opportunities. I remember when I first came here and I heard that they had cheer. I didn't know that cheer gave scholarships. I have a friend, he goes to UCF and he's on their cheer team. Mm-hmm. And I thought, he said UCF's one of the only schools that he knows of that does that. So when you guys were at your JUCOs, were you guys on scholarship there too? Were you just regular students?
We were on scholarship for for spring semester.
And then we weren't seen as a sport there. It was more like what they call a luxury.
A luxury club.
They call it a luxury club.
So we weren't really a part of athletics. I mean, we traveled with the teams, of course, but we just weren't part of the athletic department in a whole.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have that view of cheer because, I feel like a lot of people, when you talk about cheer, they think, oh, yeah, side of the football games, they're all cheerleading and stuff. And I was one of those people, too, in high school. I didn't know you guys had a whole season of your own or a thing of your guys' own where you guys are inside and do routines. It wasn't until my best friends in high school all joined cheer and I went to one of their showcases and I was like, oh, I didn't know you guys.
They're actually doing stuff.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. You guys do a lot of flips and you're putting people in the air and throwing people in the air and it's a lot of physical exertion. I think it's really cool and you guys have strength coaches here, you guys lift, and after seeing what you guys have to do, it makes a lot of sense why.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of schools don't get scholarships, but they're still doing the same thing. They still compete all season. They have to cheer. A school I was going to go to, they cheer at volleyball games, basketball games, football games. They cheer at all of that without doing a scholarship, and then on top of that, they compete. So it's a lot. You don't just have your own sport to worry about. You have every other sport to worry about, too.
Literally.
So, it's kind of corny. You guys are probably I remember when on Netflix they took out the series Cheer or that little documentary, and it was maybe you guys can go a little bit in depth of the fact of how it is actually just seeing a lot of the girls and the guys getting hurt or sometimes when you're practicing a lot of your stunts they're kind of dangerous. You're throwing people up into the air and when you're first learning the routine. It's not guaranteed you're going to catch them and stuff like that.
There's a lot of trust put into cheer.
I think it was really eye-opening for a lot of people because college cheer is a whole different world than high school cheer. You're doing pyramids with multiple people stacked up on top of you. So I think that show, went into depth about a lot of it. And then at one part of the show, you see they're in finals of their competition and someone gets hurt. And they have to rework their routine backstage before they go back on. So it gives, a lot of perspective to what we go through. And it's not easy a lot of times.
It's not easy at all.
So, you were talking about if somebody gets hurt. So, for when you guys are in competition season for you guys, is everyone in the routine? And so, like, if somebody doesn't get hurt, you have to rework it, or do you have kind of like subs that aren't?
Yeah,
in
we
the,
have like
alternates.
subs and alternates that aren't in the routine. If someone gets hurt, we just have to work them in and make it work.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's cheer teams that have just girls, guys and girls. You know, what, like I said, in my high school we had guys and girls cheer. What are some of the differences between just having all girls and having some guys also on the cheer team?
There's a different level of skill that has to go into having guys on your team. So like if you go into a co-ed, that's what they call them, guys and girls obviously. But when you go into co-ed, it's not good to have like only like one or two guys.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have like a field of guys, or you're in like a lower category.
Well, yeah, when you're in co-ed, you have to compete like in the co-ed division, but so you have to do like the special, like particular skills, like you said. And if you only have two guys and they're not doing those skills, like you're not going to be like super competitive as a team.
So, with you know, here we have just girls on the team. Does that limit you guys on things you can do, or like, cause I feel like you guys still do all the tossing up and stuff and things like that. So it's like it doesn't seem like it's too bad not having the guys.
Yeah, we still do all the same pyramids pretty much that like a co-ed team would do. Obviously, like guys in cheer are just gonna be a lot stronger, but we still do like a lot of the same pyramids. The only thing we don't do a lot is partner stunts, because that mostly is just a co-ed like thing in cheer. They do partner stunts.
Yeah. So you guys are actually getting ready for nationals. You guys have nationals early January, mid-January. So if you guys could, you know, give a little bit of how do you guys prepare for nationals? Like, yeah, I know, you know, having to go through the routine, but, you know, I'm assuming it's a lot more than just that.
So we got our routine. We go through like a choreography weekend where we get our routine, we get all the choreography, and the stunts we're gonna do. So that was in October.
The beginning of it.
Beginning of October. So we do that early October, and then since then we just go through our routine, practicing our stunts, perfecting our stunts, and then you just work your routine out, like adding your tumbling and like getting the counts so the whole team's like synchronized, all the flyers. So it's a process.
It's a lot that goes
So it's not
into
only you have to like hit your stunt, you have to hit it correctly. Like you can do your stunt and like execute it poorly or good, and that's what you're judged on.
Or technique is off. Like you can hit your stunt perfectly just by yourself with your group, but once you put it all together, you notice like, oh, that flyer's doing that on count 7 and needs to be on 1. So like you gotta all put it together. It's a lot of work.
So it's crazy. You say you guys got your routine early October and you don't perform it until January. So see, the thing I think, you know, because when you think about like other sports like football, basketball, soccer, like you have practice, but you have multiple games to like kind of, you know,
Put into our schedule.
yeah, put into your schedule. With you guys, you do all this practice for this one big event.
Yeah.
So like, does that add some sort of like pressure or something that other teams, you know, don't get? Because it's like months and months of preparation for this
Because
one time.
Teams like, oh yeah, we got a game Monday, Tuesday, Friday.
Yeah.
We get one.
And it's easy for like another team to be like, oh, I had a bad game, but like I'm gonna come back next game and do better. We can't do that. We just have like our one.
I
And
feel
only
like that's, you know, that's a big thing, because like you guys said, like this is like once you go, it's already nationals. It's like you get your performance and then that's it. It's whoever, you know, got the top or
There's
second.
no redeeming yourself.
Yeah, you know, because
Really?
so I think that's cool, and it's cool and, you know, kind of crazy too to think that. But I mean, it just shows like, you know, you guys put in the work, you guys have the preparation and things like that. So next question I wanted to ask you guys, since we're on the topic of nationals, what are you guys like looking, you know, compared from last year? You guys did relatively well last year. Looking into this year, like what are you guys looking forward to nationals wise this year?
I think we have a decent amount of new girls on the team, so I think they're really excited. Like coming from high school, it's much different competing at a collegiate level. Nationals is in Disney World, so that's kind of cool. We get time with our team to spend in Disney. We don't go until after we compete though. Yeah. But so no fun until like the work's over.
Afterwards really sets the mood.
But yeah. So it's fun. It's a good like team bonding. I mean, we all stay in the hotel like in Orlando together. It's like you really see your team come together like in the week leading up and then like leaving for nationals. It's a really good like team like atmosphere to have.
I was gonna say, you know, nationals every year is at ESPN. How, you know, when you show up, I've never been inside of like where they do the cheer things, but I've seen you know, Snapchats and videos and stuff where my friends have gone, and it looks big and it looks like a lot of people go.
It's huge. There's multiple stages. Like there's different arenas and performance areas. Like you can perform in the HP Fieldhouse, or you're inside at one arena, like your Arena A, your Arena B. Like there's multiple mats and places to perform.
So, being at ESPN, being at Disney with the team. So when you guys, it's a weekend event, right?
This year it's during the weekend. Like sometimes it's during the week.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought it was always the weekend.
This year it's a weekend, like a 3-day weekend, basically.
So for that week leading up to nationals, so you guys, do you take things a little bit easier to prevent injuries? Do you guys go even harder? Like how does that work? Because I know with some sports, when a couple days leading up before games, like you have walkthroughs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so how is it for you guys?
We take off of weights. Like we don't have weights that whole week. We take it easy on our bodies so we're not sore. We have practice every day, but they're not like a super hard demanding practice. We just go through a routine, like maybe just a couple times through for practice. Go through like the little parts of a routine that really need like fine tuning.
Yeah.
And for the most part, like we don't do anything like too like hard on our bodies because we don't want to be exhausted for that weekend.
So. And I think about other sports like football, basketball, soccer. If you want to get extra work in by yourself, you can just go to the court, go to the field, or whatever, however it is. So for cheer, if like you want to work on your stunts or things like that, how do you go about that? Like, do you have to like get a group if you want to work on a pyramid or something like that, or is there ways that you could work on stuff on your own?
It's kind of hard to work on it by your own. Really, like a stunt group consists of 4 people, so you kind of just text like your stunt group like, hey, do you guys want to go stunt out in the grass? Or there's open gyms in Winter Haven, but it's definitely not an individual sport like by any means at all. You have to have your group. A pyramid can sometimes take up to 10 people. Like if you have like your ending pyramid, it takes all 20 of us in our routine to do our ending pyramid. So stunt wise, like it's your group. Like you can't go.
It's a lot of schedules to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's like, I have class this time. Like, okay, we can do it here. And then the gym's always like filled like with basketball or volleyball. Like there's always a sport.
We have an open gym slot tomorrow, but it's at 12. Like I have class, so it's weird.
Yeah. No, because I see it's funny that you mentioned the grass because sometimes I'll see some of the girls in front of the dorm right there in front of the grass doing it. I'm like, you guys not scared? Like that's ground.
Yeah.
Like,
you gotta catch your flyer. That's one thing. Flyers have to have trust in their bases, and bases have to have trust in their flyer. Because if they fall and hit that grass hard, it could be bad.
So
when
when you guys are first learning the routine, like is if you're a flyer for if you like are you like kind of freaking out that you were just learning this now that like it probably won't go as planned?
I mean, I can't speak as a flyer, but it's probably more comfortable for them if we're trying like something hard like a flip, dismount or something. We'll have like the whole team spot around their stunt group. So I think that makes it make them feel a little bit better, but I'm not a flyer, so I can't speak for them. But we definitely look out for each other. We spot each other's stunt groups like throughout the whole practice.
People diving.
It's people.
That's awesome. So what day are you guys performing at Nationals? You guys know?
I think
the 16th.
Yeah.
I know the Nationals are the 14th through the 16th of January. I think we compete the 16th. We compete twice. We have to go into prelims, make it through prelims, and then go into finals and compete in finals.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
Hey, that's okay. I want to thank you guys for joining us. For our Warrior fans, you heard it, January 14th through the 16th. They'll be at ESPN in Orlando if you guys want to go and see our cheer team perform. They've been working hard, and they're excited to get this. And as always, go Warriors.